guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Football Plus Formula 1 show. Today we're going to talk about today's Premier League games, also games from other European leagues, and also we're going to review the sprint qualifying from the Austin Grand Prix. So let's get started, but let's start with the football first. Nottingham Forest against Chelsea. Enzo Maresca will serve a one-match suspension because of the red card he got against Liverpool. I mean, it's an absolute joke, by the way, that one. You get match suspension for celebrating, for showing passion. I mean, I don't like these referees nowadays in football try to take passion away from the game. Like what are coaches supposed to do nowadays when the team scores a last minute winner? What they're supposed to do? Just just like clap and that's it. I really don't understand. And I sometimes see Arteta celebrating, going mad on the touchline, but referees don't give him like red cards, which I don't have an issue with. I think all the managers should celebrate in the way they like, and because it's football is a game full of emotions. It's 90 minutes, full of adrenaline, full of energy. You're trying to help your team, and it's, of course, if you celebrate, you get angry. That's part of the game, and I like that. It's part of the game. It's the passion. I like it. But if you're gonna send off Maresca for celebrating, why don't you do that for the other coaches? When Klopp has done it for years, when Arteta's done it for years, I really don't understand. But that's Anthony Taylor for you. He's a terrible of a referee. But anyway, he will serve a one-match suspension. More bad news also for Chelsea is that Cole Palmer's injury is actually more serious than it is, as he'll be out for 6 weeks, and that's gonna be a big miss because one of their games coming up is obviously against Barcelona in the Champions League, so that's gonna be a huge miss for Chelsea. But they play Nottingham Forest away, they play against a team whose their manager is under serious pressure due to following some difficult results. And he says that, if you give me time, the story always ends the same at the end, me and a trophy. And he's done his talking. He backed up his talking before, but for now it doesn't look like he's gonna back up his talking. But let's see. He might be given time actually and turn it around. And I think Nottingham Forest should give him time. They should give him time. Like, they might sack him. Who they're gonna bring in? So you need to find a suitable replacement if you want to sack somebody. You saw what I mean? So I think it won't be easy game for Chelsea because City ground is always a difficult place to play. It's not easy to win. But with how open are Nottingham Forest, I could see Chelsea winning. However, Chelsea are without Cole Palmer. So that's going to be a huge miss, even though they beat Liverpool without Palmer. So, yeah, my score prediction, I'm going for a 2-0 win. No, 2-1 win. 2-1 win for Chelsea. Sunderland against Wolves. Sunderland have done really, really well this season. I'm going for a 2-2 draw in that game. Burnley against Leeds United. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Burnley. Crystal Palace against Bournemouth. I'm going for a 2-0 win for Crystal Palace. Brighton against Newcastle United. That's a good game. Won't be, it's kind of a 50-50 one because Brighton they're at home. They usually do well at home, and Newcastle they are a very good team, and they've started to pick up some results to some extent in the last couple of games. But yeah, my score prediction, I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Manchester City against Everton. Everton are going to be without Jack Grealish because he's on loan for Manchester City, so he can't play. It works from other clubs. From other leagues where you can play against your own club or you're on loan from. However, in England it's not the same. You cannot play against that team if you're on loan from. And Jack Grealish is on loan from Manchester City to Everton. So I expect him to. So he's not going to play. Is he going to be in the stands? Maybe. But City is a game they should win. If Everton are going to park the bus and make it difficult, I think Manchester City should win. I'm going for a comfortable 3-0 win for Manchester City. Fulham against Arsenal. Arsenal, some bad news happened to them during the international break with the injury of Martin Odegaard, as he will be out until the end of November with knee injury, so he's set to miss minimum 9 games for for Arsenal, and so that's a big, he's had bad luck this year. This season with lots of couple of injuries. I think he's went off like 3-4 times during the game. Fulham, they're a decent team. Won't be easy to play against. At home, they're usually strong. So won't be easy game because Craven Cottage it's not easy play to go in and win. But I expect Arsenal to win. I expect a good win for Arsenal. I think Arsenal should win. So I'm going for a 2-0 win for Arsenal. But before we move on, I want to get back to Manchester City against Everton, as one of the players for Manchester City is Rodri, who got injured against Brentford, was out again, got substituted again because he was injured. Pep Guardiola saying that he will not be available this week. I don't know when he will be back. I mean, since he had that injury over a year ago, he's been struggling massively since then. Like, to get back to rhythm, to recover very good. He's been struggling massively in terms of getting into rhythm and getting to full fitness. Obviously it's quite sad to see. I know some people make fun and say, "Oh, this is the same guy who's won the Ballon d'Or, etc., etc." But he's a fantastic player, and he's obviously a great midfielder, and he's one of the key players for Manchester City when he's at his best. But the problem is, it's been a long time since we have seen him at his best, which is over a year ago. So, but it doesn't look good at all. I think, we'll see. Like, but he needs to, if he wants to play a key part in City's season for Manchester City this season, he has to get back into rhythm very quickly as possible. He has to get back into rhythm. He has to get full fitness into very quickly, because 2 international breaks has been done, and when you have those 2 international breaks, you should have the time to be on focus on your fitness. But he was picked for Spain in the last international break in September, which I don't know why, because his fitness is not 100%. Like, you see teams like England, for example, don't take Jude Bellingham because he's not been fully fit for Real Madrid. Whereas Spain, they take Real Madrid Rodri, and I think they did similar thing to Lamine Yamal when he's been injured a couple of times, which Hans Flick complained about that. So but it's not great to see, especially for a player like Rodri, who's been we praise him and we say he's the best midfielder in the world, etc. So that's not good news, of course. Let's move on to sorry, my voice is not the best today, but Serie A, AS Roma against Inter Milan. AS Roma have had a very good start to the season, joined top of Serie A, and obviously have had a very good start to the season, especially with the new manager Gasperini, who's a very good coach, obviously. Inter Milan, the Champions League finalist, they've had a okay start. They've scored lots of goals, but lost a couple of games, 2 of the first 3 games. I expect it's going to be quite a good game, because it's at Roma. If it was at San Siro, I would pick Inter to win with the quality they have, but it's a Stadio Olimpico, so I expect a very, very good game between these 2 teams. Obviously Roma with the key players like Dybala, just to see how he's going to do. So my score prediction, I'm going for a 2-1 win. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Roma. How about that? I think they're going to win. They're at home and they've had a very good start of the season and they have good momentum right now. Bayern Munich against Dortmund is another team that having a very good momentum, was winning lots of games and scored lots of goals, even though you would expect them to do that because they're playing in the Bundesliga. but they played Borussia Dortmund, who are second, and they've had an okay start. They are second, and they're unbeaten. Decent start to the Bundesliga season. However, and Champions League, where they've had a decent start as well, drawing 4-4 to Juventus, where they should have won it in the end maybe, and they're smashing Athletic Bilbao 4-1. So, and obviously it's the derby, the Klassiker, which obviously one of the most famous derbies, the most famous derby in Germany, and one of the most famous derbies you could say in the world, even though Bayern always win. But it's getting at the Allianz Arena. I expect a very good win for Bayern Munich. So with the way they've been playing Bayern Munich as well, with the scoring, the amount of goals they've been scoring, how attacking players the likes of Harry Kane, Michael Olise, how they're firing and they're scoring goals, and Luis Diaz as well, how well they're playing and how they're destroying everybody. Bayern Munich at the minute right now. And you can have to say Vincent Kompany is doing a good job. He deserves some praise because obviously last season, it was his first season, and but I felt like he could have done more, especially with the quarterfinal against against Inter Milan, where maybe he got some things wrong. But this season and his team, they've got everything right, and I think if they keep playing the way they've been playing this season, I think they have a proper chance of winning the Champions League. I really think so, and especially with a club like Bayern Munich who have experience of winning Champions Leagues, who have the quality of the players to win the Champions League. I can't see you cannot discount Bayern Munich out. So yeah, but my score prediction, I expect Bayern Munich to win against Borussia Dortmund, and it's always a big game between these two. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Bayern Munich. Now let's move on to Formula 1.